Well, I absolutely knew that I had the wrong everything to fish this stream, but I didn't want to change my lure. So I gave it a shot. Just wanted to say that I did. But if you watched the last video getting to here, I have a lot of ground to cover today to get to where I want to be. So it's time to move on. So I've got 115-ish miles to get to the town of Ely. Didn't plan that very well coming to here first. But that's fine. You got a mix of dirt and pavement. No clue how long it's going to take me to get there. I would imagine probably 3-4 hours maybe. And then I'm starting a trail that is that's in Gaia GPS. Never been in this area before. I have no idea what to expect, other than mosquitoes. Other than mosquitoes are horrible. When you've got land of 10,000 lakes, probably makes, I don't know, 100 billion mosquitoes to be expected. But gonna have fun. I just love exploring new places, and this is all new. So we're off. Well, this was another option on where to camp. Not here, but right around the corner, there's 4 more free Forest Service campsites that are pretty nice. But it gives you access to, what is this? White Pine Lake. And there's a little fishing deck over here. Oh wow, this is gorgeous. This lake's bigger than I thought it was too. Wow, I love this. If I could find a lake like this to camp on tonight, I would not be upset. Okay, if I keep stopping to check out all the little things, I'm not going to get to my destination. And that may be fine too. But no regrets checking this out. Now I know it's here. Well, I'm very curious what the road types are going to be like up here. Like, is it all this? Or does it get tighter? Does it get like single track? Probably don't want to find those in the Rossmonster, but roads like this will help me get to where I'm going faster for sure. Well, so far, Minnesota wins the prize for the nicest and smoothest Forest Service roads. Like, these are really, really nice. I'm quite sure I'll be complaining about the mosquitoes a lot while we're up here, because they're just real bad. And I'm from Arkansas, so that bar is pretty high, and it's worse up here. I never thought I would say that, but it's worse up here. But what I'm... Oh, we got traffic. What I am disliking the most about all the mosquitoes is not the mosquitoes and the mosquito bites and the buzzing around. It's the vast amount of mosquito guts on my hands from killing them. And I realize that's probably TMI. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how I'm going to get West Nile or Zika or Ebola or whatever, malaria, is not from a mosquito biting me, but from the vast amount of mosquito guts on my hands, and then me not washing my hands because I'm in the truck right now, and I grab something and I eat it, and I'm going too far. I think I'm going too far. You get the picture. It's not good. That's how I will get all the bad things. Well, answering the question of do the roads get smaller and more two-tracky, the answer is yes. Let's see what this turns into. It is a beautiful drive through the trees, through the aspen trees. Oh, wow. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous doing this two-track trail in the Rossmonster. I mean, it's plenty wide. I mean, even Minnesota's two tracks are wider than some of our main county roads in the Ozarks so far. But I am very much aware that if there's a tree down or it does get overgrown, there is nowhere on a trail like this for me to turn this thing around. Just not gonna happen. So, fingers crossed that it stays just like this. Obviously, my concern isn't preventing me from going down these trails. I want to know what I want to see what it's like. I gotta know. And this was the most direct route to get to where I was going. Although it is slower. So there's that. Well, we have a problem. I'm not gonna drag the solar panels and stuff under that. Luckily, right, like maybe 20 yards behind me is a turnaround spot. Guess I'll have to reroute, but this is what I was afraid of. To whoever cleared these, you didn't think a 9.5 foot tall Rossmonster would be coming through here? I mean, why? Ow, oh, mosquitoes, ugh. Okay, gotta go. Well, unfortunately, I've got to backtrack all the way to here. From here is when it got to two track. So all this is nice dirt road. This is actually pavement here. So I'm just going to circle back here, hop on the pavement, run down the highway to here and hop on that to connect to here, or connect to here, which is where I want to go. So that's the plan. I got really lucky on that one. One, because I wasn't too far along in the trail before having to turn around, and two, there was a nice spot to turn around right before that, so I didn't have to back up, but maybe 10 yards around that corner. So I got lucky. That could have been way worse. And that's the compromises when you're traveling in a vehicle this size. You've got the comforts, which I was really glad to have last night, with the bugs and just being able to cook a meal and work and play. So, I mean, you've got the comforts, but you're more limited on where you can go, and that's fine. I'm glad I brought this instead of the Jeep, just to have the comforts on this trip with the dogs, and I didn't want to do anything crazy. I just wanted to go relax and see amazing things. So I am well aware of the compromises between different rigs. There's no perfect vehicle. You just got to decide what compromises you can live with. And on this particular trip, I wanted to live with the compromise of I may not be able to go everywhere. That's okay. Made it off the two track. Now back on the gravel highway. And backtracking around. Made it to pavement. That is actually where I came from. Honeymoon Trail. According to Google, I'm only 2 hours from Ely, some of it being on dirt. I don't know if I'm going to follow Google's route to get there or continue to make up my own. But it's good to know that I'm only 2 hours away. Well, I did stop and top off my tank with fuel. Never pass up a gas station, even if you're driving a vehicle that has a 600-mile range. But one thing this little detour has allowed me to do is to see some things along this highway that I otherwise would have missed. And I drove over this bridge and looked out the passenger window and saw this. That's beautiful. Wow. Look at that. That is so cool. And this is the other side. Oh, this is gorgeous. All right, well, that was worth it. Not so upset about that detour now. I'm a sucker for waterfalls. I feel like I'm missing out on some incredible hikes. I want to come back and explore this whole Boundary Water area more thoroughly and actually take a canoe and go do the Boundary Water thing. All right, off the main highway, up this little side county road. We'll see how long this lasts till we reconnect with the original route. We have reconnected to my original route. Looks like cut off about half of it. Possibly all the dirt. So we'll see. I know we have lots of dirt still left today. But about 30 miles from Ely. Almost there. I'm not upset about this detour. This does get me to this area and the Echo Trail faster than my route would have. And I'm really pumped about this area. There's a bajillion lakes up here, tons of streams. I mean, fishing opportunities galore. I don't want to spend all my day just getting here. So it'll be about 12:30 when we get to Ely. I'd say probably 1 o'clock-ish by the time we are actually on the Echo Trail, depending on if I stop in Ely or not. But yeah, I want to spend some time on it. I want to spend some time exploring it, all the little offshoots to the different lakes and stuff, find a great place to camp. I'm not real concerned about, I got to finish this trail. Although I think it's really nice graded road, so could finish it within a few hours. But most importantly, I want to find bodies of water and I want to find a great place to camp and then spend time there. And then tomorrow I've got a 4-ish hour drive back to Minneapolis because Kara's flight arrives tomorrow, late tomorrow night. I'm not in a hurry, but I do have to pick up my Gladiator by 7. And I probably want to go watch the Rossmonster after the roads I've been driving. So yeah, it'll be good. Less than 10 miles to go. Look at this. You got the Birch River, the dam here, creating the lake behind it. And then look at this. That's gorgeous. I'm so pumped to see what this area has to offer. I mean, this is just the stuff on the highway. I think it's gonna be good. Made it to Ely. The bulk of the town is that way, but I am going this way. I turned around. I want to stop in this little fishing shop. Go in here and kind of get some intel. Well, that was super helpful. He said pretty much ignore the streams because the fish have probably finished spawning now and are going to be mostly gone. So he said hit the lakes, chance to catch some trout, better chance to catch walleye, and even better chance to catch, bass. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a go. He told me several places to stop and fish along the way. I know I will get questions about. I already got a question in my Wisconsin video about fishing licenses, and I lucked out. I definitely do get my fishing license, a little out-of-state license, usually for a day or two when I'm doing this. And this morning, before hitting the water, I went on Wisconsin's website, Minnesota's website, and they're in the process of transitioning to a whole new online system, and until the 9th, and today's the 6th, there's no fishing licenses. No fishing license is required to fish in Minnesota this weekend and until Tuesday. So I lucked out. That's freaking awesome. Here's the official start of Echo Trail. It does turn into dirt here in a couple miles. Well, this is the trail to the first spot, he said, to try my luck. Well, this is the little fishing pier he told me to go to. Nice little hike through the woods. Very short. Oh, we'll see what we can do here. Maybe nothing. Oh. There we go. I got a snack. Where are you? Oh, what, you a little crappie? Huh, got one. Alright, well, I caught a little one. I'll take that for now and move on deeper into the area. Well, Long Lake was a bust. Except for the little fish. I did catch a fish. And that was fun. But gonna push further into the area. It's 1:45. I'd like to find a place to camp by 4, and then I can just chill and hopefully be at a place where I can fish from camp. So that's the goal. That's what I'm going for. We made it to the dirt. And the further north I go, the more hilly it's become, and there's been a lot more rocks and rock formations and stuff along the road. Curious to see what happens as we get even deeper. This is beautiful. Maybe the most beautiful thing I've seen so far on this trip. Wow. This is another spot the dude told me to hit. It's called Big Lake. I think it's a very big lake. I don't know that these big lakes are going to be very productive just fishing from the bank, but I'm going to go check it out. And there may be a campground down here. Quite a beautiful lake. Man, these lakes are just incredible up here. I love the little rocky shores over there. That's friggin' awesome. I might just have to walk out there and throw the line a couple times. I don't see a camping area anywhere, unless just camping here is the answer. I don't see any no overnight parking signs, so I guess you could. Huh. Let's see what happens. I don't think I'm going to set the camera up because I'm not going to stay here long. Well, no luck fishing here, but just listen to this and look at how beautiful this is. It's just so quiet. Just the sound of the bird, a little bit of the wind through the trees. So peaceful. I wish you could camp here. I'd call it and just stay right here. But I did see this sign. The following activities are unlawful. Camping being at the top of the list. So that's a bummer. But it makes me optimistic. The further I go, the more like this I will find. I'll check out this river. The Sioux River. That is gorgeous. Why is there no camping on it? Why? Gonna go explore this little offshoot and see. Oh, maybe not. And that looks. I'm a little gun shy of these type of trails. Yeah, okay. Not so much. This didn't really lead anywhere on the map, but I thought about checking it out for dispersed camping options. But that makes me nervous, based on my experience I had earlier today. There just doesn't seem to be much in the way of dispersed camping up here, which is unfortunate because there's so many beautiful streams and stuff that you could potentially camp along. But I'm almost to this official campground from the Forest Service. There's 10 spots there, from what I understand. Hopefully it's not packed. There is a dispersed campsite that I found just south. It's 312. I've got a little time to explore right here. I may do that. First, I'm going to check out the campground. Now, satellite imagery did show a dispersed camp down that way. So, I'll come back and check that out. Campground's just right over this hill. Lake Jeanette Campground. I do believe this one is a fee campground. Let's see what it's like. Alright, clearly some spaces for larger rigs here. boat launch area. This may be full. Well, that one's open. First come, first serve. Okay, so that one's available. Also first come, first serve. That one's available. That is a tent-only site. Taken. All right, well, I know there's two options here. I wasn't crazy about the two options there. So let's see what's down this road. My concern is it looked like there was the stream that goes through here, but that's all marsh. Be a great place to see a moose, though. Well, there's this spot, but I mean, it is on the water, but the water is not really water. It's a marsh. This would be so mosquito infested. It'd be so bad. This is a nice clearing, but I think the water access is down here. Or the marsh access, probably. Down here is where I marked it on the map. Oh, I see firing. Okay, let's get out and look. I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, it's not bad. I'm just sad that the water access here is not really water access. Have to be very careful with the dogs not getting in here, getting ticks and stuff. Very concerned about the mosquito level here. That's pretty stagnant. Although there is clearly some flow through here. The dragonflies are a good sign. Huh. Good spot for a moose. The major plus side to this, even though there's not really water access, there's also no people. There's 0 people here to deal with. It's wide open, all to ourselves. I mean, I don't hate it. So far I'm not feeling mosquitoes. Not seeing a lot of activity, seeing some. There's one. All right, I'm calling it. This is camp. It'll do. Hi, Bubs. Come on. Come on. I was wrong. Mosquitoes are bad. Milo, where are you going? Open the windows. Look out for moose. Let me fly the drone around. See what I can find. Let's see. Milo there. Goose there. Isabella over here. There. Done. I've been sitting here getting some work done, moving files over from the cameras and stuff. Need to be editing here in just a minute. But it's gotten much warmer than I anticipated. So, I don't know where that little thing came from. You. Go that way. Ah! For the most part, keeping the bugs out. But it's got much warmer. So I've got like every fan on. I've got the Max Air fan on. I've got a little fan. I got this little Claymore fan here on me. It's doing good. These windows are closed because that's the direction the sun is coming from. So it's very peaceful here. As soon as it cools down a little bit, we'll go outside and look around some more. Well, the temperature has cooled down substantially. So I thought me and the pups would walk around here a little bit. See what's around here. Let them run. Get some energy out of them. Milo, no sir. Do not go back there. No, 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 no. No. Get out of there. Well, my plan for dinner was to do breakfast. Some eggs, some pancakes. But, as you can see from my eggs, they're floating, which means they're bad. So, no eggs for me. But I think I'll still just make pancakes. And honestly, it's just an excuse to eat homemade maple syrup that a dear friend of mine makes himself. I can't say his name because I have enough people watching this video that know him, and if they knew he made homemade maple syrup, they'd be like, what the crap, you've been holding out on us, and he'd get in big trouble because he only shares it with very special people, and I am fortunate to be one of those special people. So yeah, I think I'm still having pancakes, or I'm having maple syrup and eating pancakes to justify not drinking it from the jar. How about that? Mind up. Get out of Izzy's food. Just because she's not eating it doesn't mean you can't. Gotta say, he's pretty much ruined me on Mrs. Butterworth, which up until getting this was my favorite syrup. I realize it's very low standard and lame, but it was. This is delicious. Well, it's time for bed. Tomorrow, I am just going to retrace my steps. I'm going to go back through Ely, that little fishing store I stopped at. They had a shower there. I could take a shower here, but bugs. And I'd rather just take a shower there. It'd be easier. But yeah, they have a shower there. So I'm going to take a shower before going to pick Kara up at the airport. And I'm just going to retrace my steps. So I'm not going to film tomorrow. So I'm going to end the video here as we are going to bed. All important links and everything are in the description. So be sure and check all that stuff out. And we'll see you in the next video. I'm not real sure. I'm going to pick Kara up. We're heading to a friend's house in North Dakota. I'm not sure what the next video will be. Probably after we leave my friend's house. So, I don't know. We'll see. But, whatever it is, we'll see then. Bye.